So, hi everyone, a big welcome back to the G2Z online event series. Thank you very much for joining us. In the spirit of reconciliation, we acknowledge the traditional custodians of country throughout Australia and their connections to land, sea, and community. We pay our respects to the elders, past and present, and extend that respect to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islanders. I'm lucky enough to be speaking to you today from Tungurung country. Let us know in the chat which land you're on today. My name is Nell Thompson, and I'm the coordinator of the National Getting to Zero program, or as we call it, G2Z, and I'll be hosting the webinar for you today. Getting to Zero was developed by the Animal Welfare League of Queensland, and they continue to support it to this day. G2Z offers its consulting, support, and educational services at no charge to local governments and not-for-profits across Australia. Our focus continues to be on companion animal welfare and management issues such as strategy, legislation, operations, programs, and community engagement, working towards reducing intake to pounds and shelters and keeping pets in their homes. We invite people to take a look at our website at g2z.org.au, sign up for our regular e-news, connect with us via social media, and get in contact with us to see if we can help or have a chat about the issues that are facing your community or organisation. And so to today's session. Once I hand over to our presenter, there'll be around 40 minutes of presentation and then time for questions once the presentation has concluded. The recording of this webinar will be accessible via our website to everyone to watch at any time. We're going to ask that everyone mutes themselves during the presentation unless our presenter indicates otherwise. And if you have questions, you can start putting them in the Q&A section and we'll get through as many as we can at the end of the session. If you have very quick questions that relate to your understanding of the content, put your hand up. There's a button at the bottom of your screen and we'll try to get to them during the presentation. And as always, please excuse any working from home background noises that may filter through. I'm very happy to introduce Bella Franz to you today. Bella is part of PetRescue's Community Care Squad, helping rescue groups, shelters, vets, councils, and anyone who uses the PetRescue platform. Whether it's getting you set up to list pets for adoption or connecting you with free programs like pet transport, food, product donations, or one-on-one support, Bella is here to help you every step of the way. So over to you, Bella.
Hi, everyone. Very excited to be here today, taking you through the PetRescue platform. I'll just kick things off, and by all means, if there's any questions along the way, please let me know. I did want to first start with a little bit about PetRescue and who we are. So I'll just jump into that. So for PetRescue, we launched back in 2004, and it was originally the first national pet adoption website. And the idea was that it was going to connect rescue pets with people that were looking for a pet to welcome into their family. It was a site for any rescue organisation or rehoming organisation to use to equally have their pets seen. As opposed to some of the big organisations would use it, small organisations, it meant that each pet was equally seen. And today, so we've grown a fair bit. It's not just a platform that we offer a lot more. It's a membership, I like to say. So PetRescue for Rehoming Organisation is a membership, and it means that you have access to a variety of free programs and services. It's for rehoming organisations, and outside of that, what our Community Care Squad does as well, we provide further support for people and pets and the community at large. So we got here. The platform itself, I'm not too sure if everyone's had a look through PetRescue and how it all works. If you're looking at it from an adopter or user perspective, it's where you can go to find a pet essentially anywhere in Australia. It links you with those organisations that are rehoming. And on the back end of things, and on the members side, we have those rehoming organisations that have the membership and have that back end access with a page and the ability to create listings for pets. So I will jump to the next one here. the big picture of who we are and what we do. Obviously, we aren't a rescue ourselves, but for me personally, the way I like to see Pet Rescue is we work with those rehoming organisations and obviously community members and anyone that's in the industry, and we're a support service. That's what I like to see us as. So we work towards big visions and goals. And you can see that we're hoping to assist and help and work together. We're all hoping to achieve the same thing, but we're wanting to change the animal welfare system and the way that it protects and cares for vulnerable pets. So again, it's a universal proactive approach. We tend to look at programs, services, technology, a lot of those the kind of tools that aren't always accessed within our industry to be able to change things and make things a bit more innovative and move the industry forward or assist those organisations that are within the industry. Next here, so what will get us there? So these are some of our 6 outcomes and goals essentially that we're hoping to reach. When we look at every program and service that we are delivering, we look at how these 6 outcomes interact or are part of what we're doing. So you can see that in what we're doing with the platform, for example, it links to finding a home for every pet that needs one, and it also increases capacity for rescue groups to help the most vulnerable pet. So everything again comes back to this: how is it helping in those 6 key areas? All right, so now that I've given everyone a little bit of an idea behind Pet Rescue and what we do, I will jump straight in and do the tour of the platform. Just a quick second as I change screens. So, oh, sorry, just getting it back up again. Here we go. All right, I'm going to make this a full screen. So hopefully everyone can see the screen now. Just give me a shout if it's not working. Where we are now is this is what it looks like when we have access to the Pet Rescue platform. So I'm just jumping over to the group profile. So I've just created a sample one here. I've logged in as a team admin. So the first thing to mention would be that we have different access levels. So when I have a look at the profile here, this is essentially what everyone is given a profile, and then we have team members that can access that profile. So if I jump on over to our dashboard and look at our team members, sorry about the load time, we're getting there. This is my account that I'm now accessing, and you can see that I'm a group admin. With Pet Rescue, you have the ability to add as many team members as you like. You can change their access to be a team member or an admin, meaning that they can either, as an admin, have access to update, change, and adjust and view listings, inquiries, everything that is linked to their group's profile and all the pets. When they're a team member, it's slightly different access, so it's a little bit reduced. As a team member, they're not able to see every single pet, only those that they have created or been assigned to. Same with inquiries, only the inquiries for those listings that they've created or have had access to. It's the same as a group profile. Team members aren't able to edit the group profile, however, an admin can. So that's just a gist of how access levels are assisting with how we manage the Pet Rescue, the groups and the profiles that our rescue members have access to. From there, I'm just going to take you to the group profile so you can get an idea of what it looks like. I was just there. Every group profile is visible to the public. So when people are looking at pets, they can find the member's profile and go back to it and learn a bit more about that rehoming organisation. So for myself, my page that I've created, I've just put a little brief about section and adoption details. We've also put some links there that can take people to the social media, a website, and a location if there is a physical shelter and you want to share that with the public. And as we scroll down further on the page, it actually shows the listings that you have available. So these pets aren't available because they're actually my own, but they're just sample listings that I've created. The key thing I do want to take you through on the profile as well is some of the amazing tools that are accessible when you have a PetRescue profile and membership. So when we look at this, um, like I mentioned, all the details are on the back end. We have the ability to make things public. So I can, for example, show my contact email and my phone number if I want to. The address can also be visible to the public. We can add in as much as we'd like about the organization. We can put up a logo. We can also add details about the adoption process. So some people like to include the application form in this as well. So that also helps having to send that out individually. As we go down a little bit further, this is just elaborates on where you're rehoming to, where you're based, the species that you take into care. And a key few things I do want to share is under our group settings here. So some of the filters that people can search for on the PetRescue website is adoption policy. So for some individuals that they may want to find an organisation that they can just have a chat to, go in and meet the pet, and not fill out application processes. And for each pet, they might look for something that's a bit more flexible. So that's our open adoption policies there. And then obviously we can look for moderate or stricter policies. We understand that some people like to do, some rehoming organisations like to have an application. They like to attend the premises of the potential applicants as well. So that's where the processes might change, and we have levels for that as well, so that it can help both the member and the adopter navigate looking for a pet in that process. Some key things that we also have here is we recognise that obviously a lot of states have the legislation requires them to have rehoming numbers or source numbers, anything like that. On our profile, we can add these in and it automatically populates to every listing. So you're not having to tirelessly add that in whenever you're listing a new pet. And we've also got a feature here to hide microchip numbers, because we know every now and then there's, especially for councils and some other shelters where they have surrenders or seized pets, they might want to hide that so that the pet can't be linked if someone is still, maybe looking for a pet, or there's a tricky situation behind the pet, the history there. Some other really amazing features I just want to quickly cover as well is we have these really awesome features that we've got here. So our inquiry placeholder text, and then the autoresponder. So as I can imagine, a lot of people are quite time poor, and when they're obviously listing pets, trying to get pets out of the shelter, and caring for our pets and giving them the time is where a lot of our time is spent, and we want to make sure that they've got high quality of care. But of course, listing pets and following up with the adopters and the application process takes a lot of time. It's quite time consuming. So for us, we're thinking, how can we save our members time? And we've looked at tools on the platform that can assist with this. Our inquiry placeholder is essentially there as a informative text to say, hey, this is what we want to know before you send us an inquiry. So it just says, we need to know this, 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 and this before they even reach out. And then once they have reached out, we've got our autoresponder. And what that does is, instead of having to respond to every single individual, it means that once the inquiry has been sent, we can then send an automatic reply, which is customized, as you can see there, and it informs the people of details from the outset, essentially. So if, for example, a shelter prefers to redirect individuals to come into the shelter or contact them via phone, you can put that in the autoresponder. If you have an application that they must fill out before they can even get to the process of a meet and greet, you can include that in the autoresponder. And essentially, it just saves you time having to to individually message each applicant, because that goes out straight away. All right, so that's we've just gone over the group profile. What I'm now going to do is I'm going to show you what it looks like when we create a listing. So by creating a listing, we simply click on this button here, and it just takes us to essentially a form where we put in all the details of the pet. I'll just scroll through so everyone gets a little idea of what that looks like and all the information that comes up. The biggest thing that I did want to cover is PetRescue recognized again that everyone, there's a lot of things that we've got to do when we're rehoming pets, and sometimes writing profiles can be tedious. There's only so many kitten profiles that we can write. So we created an AI bot that helps generate profiles for our pets. It's as simple as, we've got a description here. I can give you a sample of what it says. So it's as simple as adding some dot points in, hitting generate. And once we've done that, sorry, I've got to put the name. So let's just put in Bobby, best feature, friendly. And once we've done that, we can click generate. And within 30 seconds, it gives us a whole blurb about this potential pet. So it essentially just, and we just got to remove that when we list the pet, it saves us time immensely. We know a lot of members use this and rely on this. Obviously, you can adjust it as you go. The great thing about it is you can keep generating them further and further if it's not quite picking up what you're trying to put down. So if I didn't like the first one, I can just click generate again, and it'll do another one for me, slightly different to the first one. Again, just another way to help save time, because we know that time is quite important for our members. Again, that one there, so that's our next profile. And I'll just scroll down a bit further so everyone can see what it looks like. All this information that we're putting into a profile is essentially making sure that we are providing with the potential adopters with all the information they might need to know about this pet when they're looking into it. It also assists us with our filters, so we can search obviously by state. If the pets are available in different states, that helps when someone is filtering by their location, or if they're opening it up to interstate adoptions themselves or traveling to meet a pet. And again, there's certain filters that they can also search for when they have young kids or if they've got other pets in the household. Yeah, and then the details here. So this is just essentially how inquiries come through and who we put down when we want to start receiving those inquiries. All right, so I will just take you up, now that we've gone over that, we're going to go to some pet profiles. And I'll show you what they look like and some of the additional features that we've got there. So I'll just jump on to Zala's profile here. So key thing to mention, every pet listing comes under this section here. We have the option to view them by clicking on them. We can also see a summary of those individual pets based on when they're listed, when they were updated, who created their profile, the number of inquiries, and then their status. Again, some cool things that we've got. We can update the statuses of multiple pets in one go by selecting that button there and essentially clicking Save Status. We've got this great little bump feature. Again, for those pets that may be long-termers or may have been listed for a while, you can bump them up the search results, meaning that their profile may have faded down to the 20th or 30th page of those category of pets. And when they're bumped, they just go back up to the top few pages. So that's great to keep making sure that your pets are up the top there, being visible and being seen. So I will just click onto a listing here. So this is what we see when we are on a pets listing. So this is, again, what the public sees. They've got multiple photos. They can look at the videos of that pet and click on them. As we scroll down, we can see the pet's profile, and then we can also see the adoption details. And then on this small panel here, it just shows us the details again. Some of those key fields that we saw on the form that translates onto this listing for the pet. So this is exactly what the individual sees when they're looking to adopt. They can also inquire by clicking this button. And that's what the inquiry looks like. Again, this is what we were talking about before as a placeholder text. And they essentially just write their inquiry. And then from there, they then click send inquiry. So it's as simple as that when they're looking into inquiring into a pet on the PetRescue website. For us as members, some of the key things that we would like to see and look at when we're on a listing, obviously we got some stats here based on who's viewed the profile of the pet. Again, when they were created and listed, the inquiries appears as well as and it's exactly the same as the conversations. So we can click here to see the actual conversations or the inquiries that come through. One cool feature that we do have is a clone ability, which is it essentially duplicates the listing. So if we have a litter of kittens, we've already listed one, we can just keep cloning that and essentially adjust them based on those profiles. What I might also take you over to do now is we'll have a look at the inquiries, and then I will just describe how that kind of works when we're looking at the inquiries that come through, the autoresponder, how do we respond, and the profiles. So again, if we're on the individual listing, we can see the conversations there. Otherwise, if we go to My Pet Inquiries, all of those that have come through will be visible in this section. So we can see here for Zala's, we've got one inquiry. I can view all of the conversations, or I can just click on to view this individual one, and this is what it looks like here. This is quite similar to the view that the adopter will have as well. It'll essentially just be switched, and they won't be able to see these contact details just yet because these are based on the individual account holder. However, they will be able to see the group details and they can view the group there. This here, as we were mentioning before on the group profile, this is what our autoresponder looks like. So again, an inquiry has come through, we didn't receive enough information, or perhaps I wanted to redirect them to contacting us via phone. So once that was sent, not long after, the autoresponder was sent through and they now have that information for the next steps of the process. With the inquiries or the conversations, these also come through in email as a notification. And we've recognized that, again, logging in and checking inquiries is also a barrier for our members. So what we've done is we've allowed these notifications to be responded to in email, and essentially feedback through into PetRescue, come back out on the other end and look like a response in this conversation channel, if that makes sense. So as a member, you don't need to log in to respond to those inquiries. You just hit reply and then it goes back from there. All right. Sorry, I was just having a look at the chat as well. So now that we've gone over the inquiries and the autoresponder, we'll have a look at the status and some of our other features that are very helpful when it comes to time saving. So one that I'd love to show everyone is we went over updating multiple pet statuses when we're on the Manage My Pet section. Another time-saving feature that we have is bulk messages that go out when we change one pet status. So if I, for example, was changing this pet's profile to adopted and I clicked update, I would get a prompt here that says this pet's been marked as adopted. Do you want to let every applicant that's inquired into this pet know that they were unsuccessful? And I would say yes. And then what I would do is I would simply select the individual that was the adopter so they don't receive the email. In this case, let's say someone else. It was none of those because an individual came in. And then what would happen is I'd go to the next step and a text would be sent to all of those individuals to say, thanks for inquiring, this pet's been adopted. And then from there, I can archive all those pets' conversations. I'll just show you what that looks like to see. So this is our custom message. It can be customized. And it was on the step before I should have showed. But this essentially goes out. So this can be, so for example, if you've got a small white fluffy dog that comes in and you don't have time to respond to 20 inquiries saying that this pet has been adopted, you click simply, as we did, select adopted, change the status, and then this is sent out to every individual. Again, it just shows that the pet's been, mentions the pet's been adopted, tries to redirect them back to the page to say, hey, have a look, there might be other ones there. And otherwise you can search for available pets on the normal search page. So again, another feature that can help save time going back and forward with adopters. And yeah, I think essentially that's the key things to mention there. The final things I do want to kind of go over, and then we'll wrap things up on the tour side of things, is our resources. So as a member, we've got the Rescue Hub dashboard. So this dashboard essentially just shows new news, information, updates that come out via PetRescue. So here we have articles that we post, mentions of recent food and product donation drives that we run. We do our state of pet adoption report. So that also gets fed through here as well. And we've got important links that are available and accessible to our members. So if you're ever in a pickle and you're unsure, what's the membership code, you can find that here. Or where can I find the member benefits? It's in this section as well. Another great thing is as you start to list and then also mark pets as adopted on the platform, the numbers and your statistics will start to go up and it can be accessed from here. That data is also visible on the group profile, which is just loading, and hopefully that'll pop up here as well. So again, pets listed, the amount of views across all your profiles, number of inquiries, and the number of pets adopted. So that's just a great little preview of the work that you're doing and what's visible on PetRescue. So other key things to mention: whenever our members are in a pickle and they need support, you can simply contact us using the support help desk. It's essentially this little support button here, and you can find resources and tools to help solve a problem that you may have. Otherwise, our team is very easily accessible. I think in every resource we have. So again, if we go to the members resource, I'll just show you here. If you ever need to contact PetRescue, it's as simple as just having a look, how can I contact PetRescue? So we've got here members at PetRescue. That's our main mailbox so that anyone can reach out and we can offer support. We also have a number of resources to help navigate the platform. So if you're having trouble when it comes to your team, resetting passwords, anything like that, anything in regards to listings, inquiries, it's all accessible here. Again, that's just our members resources section. So this is somewhere where you can go to find out more information. Otherwise, with PetRescue, I like to say it's very much a one-on-one support service. We're always accessible by phone and email. I offer my phone number and love to have chats with our members. And we pretty much just love to assess, where are you at when it comes to rehoming? What are some of the barriers that you're finding at this current point in time? And we assess where we can offer support and direct you to the right platforms, tools to be able to work through those barriers. Yeah, so that's pretty much, I think, everything to mention about the platform. My last final thing before I go, which will be covered shortly as well, is our members support services and programs. So here in this section, this just covers some of the members benefits that we offer. I definitely recommend everyone having a look at these if you get a chance outside of the webinar. So again, the membership incorporates a number of support services and programs. The platform is one of those. A number of other ones we have as well is we offer the ability to sync Shelter Buddy or Shelter Mate, so any animal management software with PetRescue so that pets can be fed through automatically and you don't have to log in to manually list pets. We have a relationship with an incredible organization that offers a direct donation button on your PetRescue profile. And outside of that, it's a separate account to be able to help you fundraise. So a portal to fundraise and essentially it might even be perceived as like a PayPal. So it's a page where you can go and donate directly. There's no fees or anything incorporated in that, which is pretty awesome as well. One of our major partners is PetCircle. So PetCircle actually offer our members free discounts and also vet advice, instant vet advice. So that's accessible. So our discounts are there. That's accessible to our members. Again, another one that we have is we offer transport, so pet transport. So at the moment, one of our program partners is Jet Pets, and they offer our members free flights. So if some of our regional members find that opening their pets up to interstate adoptions has helped get those pets into homes sooner, they've then accessed the program to be able to get that pet to the adopter in that other state. So that's a really amazing program that's helped a fair few of our members with those long-termers in their care. Again, a lot of programs and services here. I won't cover all of them, but definitely have a look if you get a chance. I might quickly switch back into the presentation. Where are we now? Just get that up. And hopefully I can just pop that into present. Here we go. So I thought I'd just kind of finish it up and just end on some stats there so that everyone can see the potential and the reach that listing pets on PetRescue can have. Again, I like to see it as every pet is equally visible, regardless of the size of your organization or where you're based. Obviously, being based in regional locations, otherwise being a smaller shelter, sometimes it's harder for your pets to be seen in comparison to the larger organizations. So PetRescue means that it's equal opportunity for those pets to be adopted. Yeah, and that's some of the stats we can see there. Next, we also have some of the details about the membership. So key thing to mention there, it's completely free. So there is absolutely no charge for our members to become a member of PetRescue. It again incorporates the platform, which is quite easy to navigate. Additional to that, it's a support service, the membership. So myself, I'm the main person that works with our members, so I'm available whenever it's needed. A lot of our members just get in touch by sending me a call or a message, and then I just reach out whenever they're after assistance. And again, there's a variety of programs and services that are available. It's not just the platform. So these are the ones that I've mentioned here. These are some of the key ones that our members access. Yeah, and I think from there, it's pretty much just, reaching out. I've popped a QR code there. That's to our getting started page. So it's essentially just to apply to become a member. And I've also popped our email address if anyone wants to reach out and has questions. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Bella. I mean, those stats that you put up about, how many people view the platform and how many pets are listed on it and have been adopted through it, always blow me away. I mean, PetRescue really has been a game changer. There are two things that I attribute the progression of the sector over the last 10 15 years, how things have really taken off in Australia, and that is PetRescue and G2Z. And I think together we've really been able to assist people to progress and evolve super quickly, and things have just changed amazingly as a result of that. Um, and had to mention too that I actually had an old cat flown down through the Jet Pets transport, um, part of the membership benefits from Cairns to Melbourne. And he was a cat who was not going to get any other options up where he was located. So I was incredibly grateful for that. And so was he. He didn't mind being a Melbourne cat after that. One question that I'm not sure we touched on in the presentation: if there's anybody watching this who is not yet a PetRescue member, what are the requirements to be a member? What do you need to have, you know, set up, or what do you need to be?
Yeah, of course. Happy to jump into that. So the link, the QR code there to the sign up page, when you complete that, that is essentially your application. The information that we ask for, it may be quite long. It's long because it is what creates your group profile, what we went through on the tour. So we don't need all of that information, but that's just what becomes your group profile. The two things that we essentially look at when we're reviewing an application include an ABN. So that's essentially to show that you're running as an organization, business, incorporated, whatever it may be, that you're doing the right things. And the other one is then also a vet reference. So that's where we reach out to a vet as a referee and say, these guys, this rescue has applied to become a member of PetRescue. This is a little bit about us. We just would love your assistance to verify that they have brought pets to your clinic to
Yeah.
be checked, vet worked, obviously all the necessary, and they
Mm.
have a rehoming process in place, or adoption process.
Yeah.
So it's essentially those two checks. As you can
Fantastic.
imagine, I'm not too sure if anyone else has had a look on the ABN search site before. A lot of the time when you search for an ABN, the ACNC registered link comes up as well. So for those that
Yes.
know what that is, that's the chat, like a national charity recognition. So a lot of our rescues and shelters have that. Vets and councils, of course, won't, but that's just a way for us to verify that that individual or that organization is, a functioning business and reputable in a sense.
Okay, so two things: ABN and a vet referee, and they're going to be easy for anybody who's in this space and wanting to sign up as a member. So that's easy, and as you said, it's free. I love whenever I get a rundown of what's happening with the Pet Rescue platform, how it's constantly evolving, and every time someone shows me it, there are new cool things that have popped up that it can do, and just saving time for everybody. I mean, it used to be quite labor intensive, so if people haven't looked at it for a while, they'd do well to look at it now, because there are so many time saving options in there. And I'm not sure if you covered this in the presentation and perhaps I missed it, but I know there's a website plug-in so that people don't have to list their pets on their website and then go and list them at Pet Rescue. Is that right?
Yeah, sorry, I didn't mention that one. So that's also another member benefit,
Ah.
is our developers a while ago recognized that often in rescue, we have to list to multiple areas. So there's
Mm.
your social pages, pet rescue, and then there's a website. And we thought, okay, how can we save time? Again, I mentioned time saving all the time because
Yeah.
what we need to do, we're time poor. A lot of these organizations are volunteer run, and we completely get it. So we're always looking for feedback. We're always willing to adjust things based on what is needed. And
Yeah.
one of them was that people are constantly going to various platforms to list pets, and it's repeating exactly what you're doing. So we said, okay, cool, let's create a code that you can essentially put onto your website that feeds from Pet Rescue. When you've listed your pet, it then appears on your website. We have a number of members that have set that up. The great thing is the code can be adjusted so that, for example, if you've got a page that's just for dogs and you've got a page that's just for cats, you can adjust that so that only dogs appear on one, cats appear on
Yep.
another, etc.
Amazing. Okay. Yeah. See, that's a huge time saver. And not only that, it saves you time at the back end when the pet's been adopted, because sometimes, with all the processes and things, you might forget to delete it off one or on another, and people are calling and they get annoyed. And, so it just, and all the time we're wanting to reduce the length of stay and really get these pets out into their homes as quickly as possible. So we're talking about the time saving benefits for the member groups or the members, but really we're talking about it being the benefits for the pets, because the quicker they get listed, the quicker they get adopted, the quicker they get featured everywhere with a really good profile. Now everyone's got a mobile phone in their pocket. They can take the video and the photos and whack it up, and it's just, yeah, it's really decreasing that length of stay, which then, of course, and we've got to talk about the costs that are incurred when we are looking after homeless pets. That's not never cheap either. So we don't want to hang around. We want to get them out into those homes as quickly as possible. So I reckon that's a really great benefit. Um, if you are a PetRescue member and you want to give feedback about the platform or whatever, what are the mechanisms in place? Do you just go to the regular contact us button, or what happens?
Yeah, so very much the same. Just feel free to get in touch by emailing us. The great thing is whenever we release a new feature, um, it does take a little bit of time because we've got to make sure that people are adopting it and using it. We
Mm.
actually have started running, now that we have a bit more resources on Pet Rescue, and we start reaching out to our members that are using it and we ask for feedback. We do a phone call. So
Amazing.
the most recent one that we did, I think we did one for the AI bot and then also the draft feature. Because the draft feature, I don't think I actually took you through that, but that was a recent one we did as well, where,
Right.
perhaps a pet is scheduled in to be microchipped or desexed that week, but you want to get all the information ready. So you can draft a profile, leave it there, and then once you have that, then it can
Ah,
go live.
you just
So
hit the go button.
pretty much. So we recognized that was also a big one because there's a lot that's input into the listing
Yeah.
form.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're constantly trying to proactively reach out and ask for feedback, and further better the platform and all of our programs and services. But I mean, the biggest thing is when someone can reach out or a member can reach out to us proactively and say, "Hey, I have these ideas and suggestions." That's the best thing for us because then we get it when it's most needed, and yeah, it's not us reaching out and
Yeah.
thinking about it then at that time. It's
Yes.
instantly, which is awesome. It could
Well, and
potentially
also
save us in our
having,
tracks from doing something that might have been
yeah,
going in a
that's
direction.
true. And the fact that the users have, the input, and that it's, considered and, added to. I mean, I'm sure all of these, that the evolutions that it goes through are from feedback from the members. So I think that's really important as well. It's not, these aren't just things that are done to it. It's a collaborative sort of process.
Oh, definitely. I think a perfect example of that was when we created the AI bot, and
Yeah.
the bots are always learning. So
Yeah.
there was a couple things that we heard from members, and they were saying, "Oh, like it's using this language, and we don't really use that in rescue."
Yeah.
Or it was saying, it wasn't picking up on what I was actually saying when I would use this word. So we would
Mm,
go back and we would teach it not to use those certain words and to use other things. Um,
amazing.
not having known that, and unless someone reached out to tell us, we wouldn't have known. So yeah,
Exactly.
we're always eager to hear from our members and adjust where we can.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Are there any questions? We've got a small group today, but just checking that there aren't any questions. There's nothing in the Q&A. I mean, Bella, you've really gone across everything with the presentation. And once again, as I said, it is, recorded and available on the website. So thank you so much for running through all of that with us. This is actually the last webinar for the year. I can't believe that we're almost at the end of 2024. So thank you everyone for your attendance today, and a big thank you to you, Bella. Make sure you've signed up for our e-news, and we're connected on social media so that you get announcements about future webinars in this series. And feel free to send us through suggestions for topics or presenters that you would like to see featured, because we very much want to hear from you about what's important to you. So all the best for the silly season, everybody. Take care, and we will see you in 2025. Oh my God, that's the first time I've said that. Thanks very much, everyone. Talk soon. Bye.